bring my oil temperature up to match my set temperature.
Okay. There's only one way to do it. Did you have the instruction sheet that I sent that shows you how to do that? No.
I don't think I ever got one.
Okay. It's very simple. First, I will emphasize that it takes a great deal of patience and a lot of time. Okay? Alright, so to start with, you know how to make this bottom number accurate, right? Alright, so you've let it come on and it's came up to it's stabilized at a temperature based on the set point. Okay? It's been running for an hour. It's staying right there. You check your temperature, you compare it to this, and you make that accurate. You adjust that to read what the temperature strip says.
So once your your bottom number is accurate.
So here's our scenario. Our bottom number is reading 190. The set point says 204, but it's staying at 190. All right, so you got to make it hotter. Pot 4. Right here, you see it's marked on the wall there. Pot 4. All right, that adjusts the oil temperature. The oil temperature is what makes it hotter or cooler. All right, now keep this in mind. I'm going to keep emphasizing this. It took 2 hours to get it up to temperature. So if you make an adjustment, go do something else for an hour and then come back and check it. Don't touch it before then. If it's restabilized, check it, see where it is, and if necessary, make another adjustment.
How much of a turn do you adjust?
That's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to show you. First of all, you want to know by pressing the plus and the minus, that top number now becomes the oil temperature. All right? So you want to watch it, and you're going to find that there will be a bottom number and there'll be a top number. All right, in the scenario that we talked about, we're at 190 and we want it to be 204, so we need it to be hotter. In order to make that hotter, we have to lower the oil temperature. So when this reaches the bottom number, let's say the bottom number is 188. When it gets down to 188, and you want to make the belt speed just really slow, because this will make the changes here really slow. All right, so it says it comes down, the lower number is 188. So what you want to do is you want to make that 188 lower. Okay, by making that number lower, the board thinks that the oil needs more heat, so it's going to heat it up. Okay, so you go do your thing, you come back later. You don't want to adjust more than about an 1/8 to a 1/4 turn at a time. All right, if you look at that adjustment, when you make this adjustment, if you see and if it says 188 and that's the lowest number, then in this case that was the lowest number, 188. All right, so what I would do is if I were adjusting it, I would make that 188 down to like 184. You got to be on the ball. You got to do it when it hits a low number. Do it quickly.
And then, so you're holding those in. All in the same adjustment. You're seeing that it hits 184, and then you walk away for it.
Then you walk away for an hour, and then you come back after it's readjusted itself and see if it's come up. So most likely it will come up, maybe not as much as you want. So if it needs a little more, you want to do this in small increments. If you try to do too much at once, you'll wind up with it way overshooting.
So what you should see when you come back is that what was 188, then went down to 184. It should hopefully it'll be up like 190.
It's going to be up higher. It's going to be about. Basically, it establishes a low number and a high number no matter where you go. So if you lower that to 184, it's going to come back. Your lower when you come back, probably it's going to be a 188 again. But your lower number The actual surface temperature is going to be hotter.
Okay.
Okay, instead of reading 190, it might be 195, 198. You know, it reacts to that oil temperature. That's what controls the heat.
Okay.
All right, so you understand, to make it hotter, lower the oil temperature.
And then the board takes over.
Right,
And compensates.
and to make it cooler, raise the temperature. So you'll want to look at your top number. If it's too hot, look at that top number. It's let's say it's 215. All right, and it's too hot. So what you would do is you would make 215 read 218, 219. You know, raise it up, and then what it's going to do is it's going to drop the temperature down. So you do just the opposite of what you might think. You lower the oil temperature to make it hotter. You raise the oil temperature to make it lower.
That's because where we were getting ahead of ourselves, I think, is we were thinking that overruled the board there. But you're saying the board compensates given that. So
Right.
we have to remember that. That's
So just the actual set temperature,
That's the set point now.
it becomes irrelevant.
Right. At that point, it's not going to be critical because you're trying to adjust. I would, however, if you're going to calibrate it and bring it in, what I would do is I would start with it at 204.
yeah. Start at where you want the set temperature to be at. when you're
Right.
done.
You want to make you want that to be 204, and you want this to be 204. You want to be accurate at the same time that you're doing
So
the calibration.
start with the top saying 204, or get a
Set
right
this
number
at
right
204,
there. Yep.
and then let it heat up and stabilize, and then you'll get a reading here. Run your strip, adjust the lower number to read what your strip says,
And then start.
and then
counting.
start your
When you
count.
say lower number, you don't mean the lower number here. You mean the lower number here when
No.
you're holding those in?
No, the bottom number.
No, the bottom number.
This should be the actual temperature that you're getting a strip.
So if you
out.
set
Oh
this,
yeah. Okay, I missed the strip. Yeah.
So if this is 204, you want to let it heat up. Obviously, what you want is for this to come up to 204. So whatever it comes up to and stabilizes, that's where your adjustment point's going to
Okay.
be. But it's got to come up and stabilize there. Because
Okay.
if you're adjusting it on the run, if it's moving up or down, then you're fighting yourself.
Which is why you give it an hour to make sure it has time to stabilize.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's why it can take all day to get it honed in right. Depending on how far off.
We spent all day doing it and still got it wrong.
So,
that's
Just to make sure we got them marked right in here.
You do. This one is your temperature display adjustment to make it match your temp strip. And this one is the one that adjusts the oil.
Okay. So that corresponds to 1 and 2, the third one over, right? That one?
Right, this one right here.
Okay. That's
It's
oil
the
temp.
fourth one over, actually. You have 1, 2. Number 2
Mm-hmm.
is the display.
Oh yeah.
And 3 and 4, and number 4 is your
Okay.
oil.
Okay, out of those.
And do not adjust the other ones at all.
Okay. All right. That explains it clearly?
That's the best explanation I've heard.
Okay.